What is good, y'all? I'm here to talk about the changes I've made to Scizor for my ROM hack. So I also have videos going over Scyther and Cleaver, which you can check out when you're done with this one. But for anybody who's new here, I'll quickly flash them on screen. This is Scyther, and this is Cleaver. So you can pause the video and give those a look. Uh, but I will have videos explaining those more in depth when yeah, this video is just for Scizor. So Scizor itself, well, first things first, if you're new here, pause the video, read the description. I've got really important bullet points explaining the overall balancing philosophy for the ROM hack, and it'll answer a lot of your questions you might have. So that's important. And then also make sure you go to the move guide when you're done with this video, and you can look at all of the moves organized into all sorts of categories, because the moves are the entire backbone of how this ROM hack works. All the moves are, changed to synergize with abilities more and just fill all sorts of roles and niches and other cool things. So yeah, make sure you give that all a look when you're done with the video. Don't click off yet though, because it'll mess up my watch time. I also have other important resources you can check out down below. If you're a returning viewer or new, I do appreciate you clicking on the video. Make sure y'all drop a like, drop a comment, all that good stuff. It helps with the algorithm. But all that out of the way though, Scizor, Scyther, and Cleaver all have a speed ability and speed boost on Burden or Weak Armor. Obviously Scyther is naturally the fastest, just based on his design and stuff. And then Scyther has Sharpness and Technician, and then Scizor keeps Technician while Cleaver keeps Sharpness. I think that's really cool. There was a point in time, actually very recently, up until very recently, I had Sharpness on Scizor as well, because I thought getting boosts to like X-Scissor and Laceration is cool, and it is cool, but I don't know, man. It just feels kind of like forced, like he isn't actually sharp, like his whole thing is about like pummeling or punching or like using his claws, not to like slash necessarily. I mean, Mega Scizor, yes, but base Scizor, like those aren't super sharp. Meanwhile, like Cleaver has like literal axes, and then Scyther has like literal blades, like for hands. So I think it's cool just to keep Technician, and then it gets Unburdened for a speed option, which is incredible in this type of context, because if you read on screen, Unburdened is reworked, Quick Claw is a single-use consumable, and you can also do like Endure Pinch Berry stuff with Unburdened. It's very easy to use and abuse. Battle Armor is great defensively. You have Iron Defense Battle Armor. You can just use it because sometimes you won't always need the Technician boost or the Unburden boost, right? So it's nice to just have that reliable Battle Armor for like a Nuzlocke context, which is what this game is balanced around. So if you haven't read that description, I recommend you pause and give it a read, because it'll explain a lot of your questions you might have about the ROM hack. So that's, Battle Armor, and it's obviously a very fitting ability if you read the Pokedex, it talks about, I mean, I don't even need to explain why I chose it. There's a point in time where I was considering Intimidate, because it makes a lot of sense if you read the Pokedex, talking about like intimidating foes with the eye patterns on its claws, but I don't like Intimidate very much gameplay-wise, and I think Battle Armor is a lot more consistent and safe to play with. And Battle Armor also makes perfect sense given, the whole steel hard body, hardness of steel, not phased by ordinary attacks, etc., etc. So Battle Armor is cool. I think the only other Bug Steel type in Scarlet and Violet is Fortress, so it wasn't too difficult to balance around overlap in this case. Fortress is going to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait to talk about them in the future. They're going to have Bulletproof, so if you're wondering why, that's going to Bulletproof, Mega Launcher, and Rapid Fire. They're going to be so fucking cool. I can't wait. I shouldn't have spoiled it, but I don't care. That'll be really cool in the future. But yeah, Scizor, awesome, consistent. It's got tons of new Technician options, and it's also much bulkier overall, because it should be the bulkiest of the three, right? I mean, obviously, Scyther is bulkier with a Violet. Not to mention, Scyther resists fighting and is immune to ground, while Scizor and Cleaver are neutral, so that's a big deal. But also, by the way, if you're watching these, like, all of them, like you're hearing me repeat myself in a bunch of the Scizor, Scyther, Cleaver videos, I really do appreciate you listening anyways. It does mean a lot, especially if I am kind of like going over the same thing. Especially for like a consistent viewer, you probably already know like half the move synergies here anyways. But yeah, Unburden is very, very strong. It's nice when you need that extra speed. And then of course you have Technician priority in the form of Creeping Strike, Bullet Punch, and First Impression, all of which are stab. And then you also have Aerial Ace, as well as Quick Attack and Crab Hammer at the end game, which are non-stab priority moves that you can take advantage of very, very well. But First Impression being 135 power with Technician is awesome. I love bug types. I love the move First Impression, and I love when specific Pokemon get really, really strong First Impressions in this game. It's really, really fun to just switch around and kill some neutral targets with it, especially with like a boosting item. You can definitely get some neutral kills there, which is just fun and cool. Bullet Punch, Creeping Strike, both standard priority moves, very, very good. Vise Grip is a 60 power move, 100% accurate, that traps. So you can use that defensively and offensively. It's 90 power with Technician, so it's stronger than Iron Head. However, if you want the strongest Technician Steel move, it's going to be Smart Strike. Smart Strike is a 50 power move that always crits, so it's 112.5 base power with Sharpness. With Technician, excuse me. And then Laceration with a Scope Lens is even stronger, but the thing is you have to hold Scope Lens for it to crit. Laceration with Scope Lens is 120 power, but again, Smart Strike doesn't require to hold a Scope Lens at all, so that's definitely good. Crabhammer, so Crabhammer is definitely broken on this guy purely because it allows you to sweep cheese with Unburden, because one of the main things that will stop your Scizor from sweeping is Quick Claw Pokemon. Again, Quick Claw, like I said earlier, is a single use guaranteed consumable, right? So it's gonna always trigger and then it's gonna get used up. So essentially, if you use that on the AI, which is gonna Quick Claw attack you to outspeed your Unburden, boom, their Quick Claw triggers, they flinch from Crabhammer, and then you can finish them off with whatever you want to finish them off with. So I wouldn't use it in that cheesy way personally. I just don't think that's very fun or skillful or rewarding. I would use it just more as like, just a single use tool for like later in the fight, right? Like just a strong 135 power water move. Flavor wise, Crabhammer fits. I mean, it's got the whole thing going on there with the claws. Just the shape of the claw fits Crabhammer. I should have given Razor Shell too. Nah, it's not needed. I was also considering Aqua Cutter via TM, but I opted not to, just because, I don't know, I think it's fine. If you desperately need to hit, I mean, you have other coverage, you got like Rock Tomb and some other, Psycho Cut, Leaf Blade, obviously tons of fighting moves and stuff. But yeah, Crabhammer is cool on them, just as like a single use strong flinch thing. You can also use it to combo into a Bullet Punch or a Creeping Strike or something. So that's all very fun. Yeah, Vise Grip, like I said, 90 power Technician. Metal Claw is the same power as Vise Grip, but Vise Grip is I think it's almost exclusively better. The only technical benefit of Metal Claw is that if you're holding Scope Lens and you have a Focus Energy up, or actually, if you have a Focus Energy up, it guaranteed crits, but like, I don't know, man. If you're doing Focus Energy Agility, you're doing too much, like, you're losing the plot there. Trailblaze is very strong on them. If you're going the Technician route, you can try to do that. But if you really want speed, your best case. I mean, you can do Agility Technician or Agility Battle Armor, but the most direct way of getting speed is Unburden. I still don't love Unburden. Like, honestly, there was a point where I was like hating. I'm like, I don't like Unburden on them. I don't like it. But I do like it. I'm just still a bit conflicted. Because I like how Cleaver is weak armor, and then Scyther is speed boost, and then also is just naturally fast. So I think it's cool for Scizor to have a speed boosting ability too, although naturally it is by far the slowest of the three, right? Which makes sense. And then it is also the bulkiest. 80, 130, 90 bulk is very, very good. We all know Bug Steel is pretty good defensively. It's got a good amount of resist. Although again, I covered this in the Scyther video. Bug Flying gets way too much hate. You get that fighting neutrality and ground neutrality. Meanwhile, Bug Flying resistant is immune to those, so that's a big deal. I think I might have said that already. I don't know. Brain is rotting from bulk recording, but yeah, Sacred Slash is strong, guaranteed crit move. That's Technician boosted, 135 power. Knockoff is 124 power with Technician now. Thief is 90 power with Technician. Rock Tomb is 90 power with Technician. Bug Biting, I should have covered that earlier. Bug Biting is a very strong 105 power Technician move. So that's really good because it also breaks through Focus Sash and Sturdy and Multi-Scale and Energy Shield and all this other stuff. So that's also really, really strong. And Bug Biting is even good with like Unburden sets, if you want to break through a Focus Sash on a Pokemon that's like weak to Bug, or if it's neutral to Bug and you got like an attack boost or something. In the end game, you have Finishing Blow, which is incredibly powerful. +3 attack. Works great with Unburden and Technician because Finishing Blow will give you +3 attack when you knock something out, right? And it's also Technician boosted, so you can either use Technician to get the extra damage to knock something out easier, or more brokenly, you can do Unburden, Finishing Blow, Quick Claw, and you get +3 attack and +2 speed in one turn if you kill the opponent, which is easy to set up. You can switch around, put the AI Pokemon in range. It's very, very brainless, and then you can Crabhammer the fucking Focus Sash or the Quick Claw, whatever's gonna stop you, and you can get like at least 3 or 4 kills pretty effortlessly. So I don't know, if you wanna allow that, you can. It is, I mean, I'm telling you right now, it is very broken, and I would not personally like using it. I wouldn't find it very fun, or in the spirit of the hack, but it is legal technically, so you can, but there will be probably an optional like setup ban rule. But yeah, and it's only illegal for the last 9 boss fights in the game anyway, so it's not a huge deal. That's really it, to be honest. It's bulky. Thunder Punch I threw on there because it does get Bullet Punch, so I don't see why I can't use it on a couple other punch moves. I could also throw Focus Punch on there too, I guess, but it's not like you're ever going to use that really. In an in-game context, at least, it's just kind of too niche because the AI is never hard switching. Metal Burst, Battle Armor is good. Oh my god, I don't know how it took me this long to mention this. Battle Cry, Battle Armor, incredible with Roost. So Battle Cry drops attack and special attack by -2. And with Battle Armor, that means you're never going to get crit, and you can just Battle Cry, Roost, whatever, and just kind of sit on things. And you can also do Vise Grip to deal some chip damage with the trapping effect, so that's a pretty cool little combo you can do. He also did great defensively as well. Great defensive utility on Scizor, which is pretty cool. So it's very versatile. You can use it for speed, for priority, for offense, for defense. So yeah, thanks for listening. I will be, doing videos for the other two, so make sure you check those out. Make sure you drop a comment if you made it to the end. I do appreciate it very much, and I'll be back for more coming up, y'all. Peace.